When learning to write a memoir, it can feel awkward and uncomfortable as you learn the process, just like when you learn to swim. We often see people who are not comfortable swimming when we go to a lake. They flail about in the water, their heads reaching up high desperately to catch a breath of air. This awkward gesture soon tires them. Try as they might, there is not enough air for them as they constrict their ribs, twist their heads, contort their jaws. Soon enough, considering that they have set out to enjoy the water, these people quit and they return to the shore and hang out on the beach. Swimming is over for the day. As I was swimming last summer in Cedar Pond, not far from my home, I remembered learning to swim. A woman who was my coach told me that if I positioned my arms correctly, and she showed me what correct was like, I would find a pocket of ample air. I could breathe into this pocket without stressing my rib cage, my lungs, my mouth, and I could get as much air as I needed. Of course, her telling me was not enough for me to find that pocket, where I could have as much air as my lungs could hold. As much air as I could breathe were I in the middle of a field. But before we get more into this week's masterclass, let me introduce myself. For those of you who do not know me, I am Denis Ledoux. I'm a writer, I'm a teacher, and I'm founder of the Memoir Network. I'm so pleased you have joined me today. This masterclass is brought to you by the Memoir Network's editing services. A memoir editor provides you with impartial feedback about your memoir's potential, be it your treatment of the subject matter, your style, character development, pacing, the arc of your story, and so much more. Schedule a complimentary Get Acquainted session by going to the address listed in the description of this video. And yes, I'll also have a bonus for you at the end of this video. Now, let's begin the masterclass. After my coach's instruction, when I entered the water and positioned my arms as I thought she had told me, I was still not able to find that pocket of air. For a while I went up and down the pool, struggling to find the air that she had told me would be there. Occasionally I would stop and she would say to me, "Stretch your left arm more, turn your head slightly more towards your shoulder. Be sure your right hand is at your knees, about ready to come out as your left hand goes into the water." Well, it was very easy to say for her, but it was very hard for me to do. Left arm, right arm, head, it just seemed too much, but I continued to practice because I wanted to be a good swimmer. Then came the moment when, all of a sudden, without any announcement, I found myself breathing as much air as I could possibly want, as much air as I could breathe in the middle of an open field. As I was swimming at Cedar Pond last summer, I remembered these swimming instructions and felt so much gratitude for my coach. What I struggled to learn then has been second nature for me now for decades. I became an excellent swimmer, a very good swimmer, and I continue to enjoy swimming in lakes and ponds here in Maine. Swimming has been such a pleasure in my life. Learning to write a memoir can be like learning to swim. It is possible for a writing coach to instruct a person on proper writing techniques, on better styling, on effective characterization, and on using action to move the reader along with the narrative arc. If the coach were to give a written test to that person, it is entirely possible that the apprentice writer would get an A+. But something happens between the knowledge of what one ought to do and the practice of it. The writer sits at her computer and begins to compose. Her story does not come out as she thought it would when she was envisioning it in her head. There's something missing. What's missing? Why isn't this working? She asks herself. Like the swimmer who is gulping in water and growing increasingly tired, our writer is growing frustrated, and she is sure she will never learn to write memoir well. She might even think, I'm such a terrible writer. A memoir writer is like a swimming coach. A coach, whether a swimming coach or a writing coach, can impart valuable feedback to a learner and shorten the learning curve. Perhaps your writing teacher will tell you to write in shorter sentences, or to write more spontaneously and give you some exercises for doing so. And perhaps what you need are fewer adjectives or a reconceptualization of your story. What is it that you really want to write about? Often the writer may not need new information. Most of us have a lot of information. What the writer needs is practice and feedback on that practice. As with a swimmer, the writer arrives at a point when he knows that he is doing something right. All of a sudden, like the swimmer with air, he finds that a pocket of inspiration and learned technique where everything he needs to keep going is there available to him. It is possible, of course, both for the swimmer and for the writer to learn craft or skill without working with a coach. But it can take much longer. Here's another example. Winston Churchill once was a very talented amateur painter. He had spent 2 years learning perspective on his own. Later, Churchill discovered that perspective in painting could be taught in a studio class, say at a university or at a workshop, in a matter of a few weeks. Oh, but somebody said, "Aren't you glad you learned it on your own?" "No," responded Churchill, and I'm paraphrasing here. "Learning perspective was not the most interesting thing that I might have done as an artist in those years when I was learning it on my own. I would much rather have pursued my subjects without having to spend so much time on technique." The leap from swimming and painting to writing is about how you can spend the next year working on writing techniques alone, never knowing if it is measuring up or not knowing how to stop gulping all of that water, not knowing where there might be shortcuts. Alternately, you can spend the next months with a memoir coach who is also skilled at teaching. You can learn quickly the writing techniques to write a memoir that will enable you to move on to telling your story, to delivering your message. If you would like to explore receiving help with your memoir on any aspect of memoir writing or publishing, know that we offer a 30-minute complimentary get-to-know-you coaching consultation. The link to a free consultation is in the description below. Before you go, please hit the subscribe button at the bottom left of this video and click on the bell next to it. Subscribing assures this memoir writing content will appear on your YouTube homepage and on your recommendations bar. Check the description below, too, for a link to this week's free video e-course. And remember, inch by inch it's a cinch, yard by yard it's hard. Good luck writing your stories. The videos that we post on the Better Memoir Writing Masterclass channel are just one of the many ways we can help people write better memoir. I'd like to take just a few moments to share more of what the Memoir Network can offer you by way of partnering with you to write and publish your memoir. Our free membership program, My Memoir Education, offers you access to e-courses, e-books, videos, and more. We have had thousands of people benefit from the free My Memoir Education to write their memoirs, and we hope you will become a member too. Our blog contains over 500 in-depth posts on different aspects of memoir writing, and it too is free. Come on over and pick and choose what you need. While free content can be very helpful, there comes a time when you need more focus and more mentoring than you can get from free. We offer coaching, editing, whether copy editing, content editing, or developmental editing, ghostwriting, and book production. Our website features many of our clients' book covers and testimonials. Come and check us out. We also have a number of programs you can purchase. The Memorable Story is a 10-module home study program on every aspect of memoir writing. It provides university-level mentoring. The Inspired Memoir Writer is a group coaching program. You meet with fellow writers over a period of 10 sessions. We also offer Jumpstart Memoir Professional Packages, which are designed for people who would like to help others write their memoir. If you're interested in knowing more, please feel free to call us or email us at info@thememoirnetwork.com. Thanks, and keep writing.